by Detroit. The Pistons making their first substitution, and it's Tracy McGrady going in. Prince checked out. McGrady's on a one-year deal with Detroit, averaging 4 points and just over 2 rebounds in 16 minutes a game. Obviously, still trying to find his way after microfracture surgery. Butler a jumper over McGrady. Butler now the defender. McGrady on a post-up. Turnaround fadeaway is good. That looked like an old Tracy McGrady move. They double Stuckey. Cross-court to Ben Gordon, who just subbed in. McGrady knocked away, but the loose ball finds its way to Ben Wallace, who dunks, and Rick Carlisle wants a timeout. Of the night. Ben Gordon looks over the top, goes down low to Villanueva. Couldn't cleanly make the catch. McGrady no good.
1-on-3 fast breaks within a 10-second span. That is a windshield wiper basketball game.
Here is McGrady with a drive and a finish. The same end of the floor, perhaps that's what reminded him of it, where the big dunk over Sean Bradley occurred so many years ago.
I remember it clearly.
He had a flashback to that moment.
Except he came out of the corner on that one. He came right out of the corner, right down the baseline. That was a heck of a move that McGrady made to get open prior to the dunk. Made an excellent move on that dribble drive.
The other difference, of course, about the 20-inch difference in vertical from the old McGrady to this McGrady.
Yeah, just a little bit of a difference, but that is a nice move and finish for T-Mac.
Give it to the man.
Left hand jam and getting a little vocal afterwards. Now that's nothing on Al Harrington, but
I think his neck was above.
Barea does get down into the paint, but can't finish for the Mavericks coming out of the timeout. McGrady steps into a three. By Gordon, and it's stolen by Jason Terry. Terry, the intercept. Leads for Barea, blocked by McGrady. Gordon for three, and the tie, and he hits.
2-2 zone, and it's going to be that wide open in the middle. Dallas can just flash people in there and get to the middle at any time and put the ball in the middle. And once you get the ball in the middle of it.
Tim is in for Detroit. Stuckey's out of the game. Down low, Maxey blocked from behind. Now McGrady fouled. And with Dallas over the limit, McGrady will go to the line. Foul on Jason Terry for his third. Tracy McGrady has been a poor free throw shooter this season in his limited time. The 31-year-old, who is a 7-time All-Star, is only 7 for 17 on foul shots this year.
That's almost hard to believe.
I double-taked. I made sure that I wasn't looking at the three-point stats. Haywood in, Chandler out. 2:07 remaining third quarter. Villanueva in, and Maxey out. Now, one thing this does is it does change the ability for Detroit to be as physical inside. Now, you do have a far more polished offensive player on the floor in Charlie B as opposed to Maxey, but you don't have nearly the physical for the Atlanta game. I don't know what's going on with my free throws right now.
He sure did.
It's the strangest thing I've ever seen in Dirk's career.
He was 83% for the year coming into the game tonight, which certainly the vast majority of the league would be happy with that. Now we have a lane violation called here on Detroit, and after the lane violation, a technical foul. So the Mavericks are going to get a real break here because Dirk had gone 0 for 2, but a lane violation on Detroit and then a technical on McGrady. Jason Terry with the free throw for the technical.
A little strange to see somebody else shooting that technical other than Dirk, isn't it?
It is strange. Right side of the screen, McGrady, no, Wallace stepped in and obviously
see that foot
in.
right there? That's a lane violation.
Now I wonder why in the world you would argue that to the point that you would get a technical foul.
Makes no sense.
So Dirk will find him. Killed his dribble, 5 to shoot. Now McGrady, long three. Rebound Dallas, 4 seconds left in the quarter. Flings it up to Barea, Dirk does. Barea pulls up for three. No.
Again. That was the initial pivot.
Shot clock at 12. McGrady guarded by Karan Butler. Knocked out of bounds and off McGrady. Turnover number 13 tonight for Detroit. Let's see if Dallas can capitalize.
Butler with a defensive play.
Kidd bringing it up the floor. Gordon checking him. Butler fouled by McGrady. No basket. Tough angle shot was way after the whistle. McGrady's second foul. Detroit's first team foul.
Let's go, Mavs.
Once again, Butler on the left side of the floor, this time against McGrady, and got him in a bad position again and draws a foul.
McGrady should know better than that. The guy that's been in this league as long as he has, and all that he's accomplished, he can't make mistakes like that. That's a mental mistake.
And I like two things about that a lot. One, I like trying to get Butler going. They need that offensive punch. And two, I like going at McGrady, a guy who's, you know, back in the day, probably more able defender because he's still athletic. But after what he's been through with his issues with his knees, he's not quite the defender he used
I was about to say, in defense of him, to your point, maybe the mind is still willing, but the body won't. You know, he can't get the body to do what the mind's telling him to do.